Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy, and today we're going to unbox an Anakin Skywalker figure from the Archive series. So let's go set this guy free. Alright everyone, here we are with an Anakin Skywalker Black Series 6-inch from the Archive line, and this is Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and again, this is from the Archive collection. You can see it right there on the side of the box a little bit. Over here on the side, Archive collection. And as you can see, I got a little bit of box damage. I ordered this fella offline. And so for those of you who may not be familiar with this line, what the Archive collection is a re-release of some of the more popular older figures. And this figure is from Wave 2, and each wave has 4 figures in it, and Wave 2 has Darth Maul, Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, and a Scout Trooper. And so these are fairly new releases for 2019. They just came out a couple weeks ago, and we're going to unbox this guy today. And before we get that far, I just want to spin the packaging around, let you guys take a look at it. And again, you can see this is one of the downsides of ordering online is I got a little bit of box damage, but I'm okay with that because the figure does not appear to be damaged, and I plan on opening this guy, so I'm not that concerned about it. But so on the back here, what you have is a picture of the original packaging, and that's what I'm talking about. This is a re-release, and that's why you have the date of 2014 on here. That's when this figure was initially released, and as you can see, they got a picture of the packaging, and it's the older style Black Series packaging, which what I've heard referred to as the orange stripe or the blue stripe, because you can see they have big orange stripe running through the packaging. And they just wanted to show you what the original packaging looked like, and then of course you have the year it was released, which was 2014, and you have a quick character description, and I will go ahead and read that to you guys. Anakin Skywalker. Anakin, now Darth Vader, turns to the dark side and battles Obi-Wan Kenobi in a lightsaber duel on the lava planet Mustafar. And of course, they're referencing Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3 there. So let's go ahead and unbox this guy. And as you can see a little bit closer look at him in the packaging. And of course you can see it comes with a lightsaber, and what you can kind of see in there, he has an alternate head. I'm kind of curious what that's all about because I'm not real sure. This is my first Anakin Skywalker figures, so in the Black Series anyway. So let's go ahead and I'm trying to unbox him in a little bit different way than I normally do, because I'm trying to preserve the packaging a little bit more, but I'm still kind of chopping it up pretty good. But what I'm trying to do here is cut the bottom of the bubble out so I can slide the figure out, and still butchering it, and maybe have a nice little place to store it when I'm done handling it here. And of course you have the card insert. There's nothing fancy about it, just the artwork. And okay, that's one of the things I like about the normal standard Black Series, is you can always put them back in the box when you open them, and they still look like they did in the store. And unfortunately with these Archive, they're not doing that, and I'm hoping they change their mind on that for Wave 3. But there you can see him. Of course, we have the Skywalker lightsaber in here, and the alternate head. And so what I guess this is kind of like standard, everyday, more light side Anakin, and this is angry Darth Vader Anakin. So then pop the head out of there. And get a little bit closer look at the head sculpt here. Yeah. It's a very good head sculpt. You got the long hair. Okay, so let's get him out of here. And so, oh my goodness, he is in here really good. Okay, jeez. All right. So I've got to tell you, just on looking at it at first, I prefer this head on Anakin. I like that one a little bit better. And there he is. Very nice. Looks like they got the outfit pretty accurate. And if any of you guys out there watch the Clone Wars TV show, the animated show that went on for 6-7 seasons, or we're getting season 7 later this year, I'm hoping they do a version of him where he's got the armor on a little bit. And if you're follow the Black Series later this year, and I believe it's a Walgreens exclusive, they're going to do Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi from that Clone Wars, where he's wearing the clone armor under his Jedi robes. But look forward to that coming out later this year. And I hope we get a version of Anakin like that from the TV show. But there he is, and let's real quick run through his articulation here. So, okay. Cool. So the head is obviously on some sort of ball joint. So you have full rotation, and I can feel there's like a double joint or point of articulation on the neck. You can see you have like your standard up and down, and just underneath his chin there I can see another point of articulation. So when we pop the head off and swap him out here, we'll take a look at that. But all his outer robing appears to be hard or flexible plastic until you get down here, and his lower robe is actually cloth, and it looks like it's a one solid piece that goes all the way around with, there's a seam on it, but it's one piece. There's no holes or cuts in it or anything like that. So again, let's keep going through the articulation here. So then you have the shoulder joint, and you have your up and down and your full rotation. And his robe kind of pokes over his shoulder a little bit there, and it is stiff, so it doesn't seem to be stopping his articulation, but something, I don't know, just pointing it out, I thought it might interact with his articulation, but it's not. So then at his elbow, you should have a rotation, and then an up and down. And then at his wrist, you have a rotation, and then also, it looks like you should have a up and down. It's being a little bit stiff on me, but there you go. You can see. And so what I'm kind of curious about is there's obviously going to be a difference in his hands because of the robotic hand here. So, you can see just visually the difference in them. But also, if you look at the hand sculpts are pretty darn close. It's like an open fist with almost what appears to be almost like a trigger finger out. But the actual hand sculpts are pretty, at least the position the hand is in looks pretty much the same. But then at his arm, you have, on both arms, you have rotation at the elbow, and then at his wrist, because I was kind of curious about this because of the glove, you have rotation, and let's see here, and then you still have the up and down movement too on his wrist. So, okay, that is cool. And then so coming down here to his waist, you have just a rotation. There's a little bit of wiggle back and forth, not a lot. And it's kind of stiff. You don't really get the full rotation. It feels like you could force it, but I don't want to break him. So I'm going to, just where he gets tough, I'm going to stop. But it feels like you could force it all the way around. And of course, if you look on the belt, you can see there's a place to put in the lightsaber, and we'll check that out here in a second. So then going down from there, you should have articulation at 2 points on the upper part of the leg. You have a back and forth where it's connected to his body, and then you have right here, you have a point of articulation. That's a rotation. Let's see here, you have back and forth, a little bit of side to side at the hip joint. And then down here at the knee, you have up and down, no rotation. And then, of course, at the ankle joint, you have a rotation and up and down. And there you can see the bottom of the foot, what it looks like. So, okay, there we go. Now, let's swap these heads out, see how that works. So, I guess you just want to pull on it. And so that's what I'm talking about. You have a point of articulation that's actually on the ball joint. That's going to be one way he moves. And then you also, the actual ball itself moves. So there you go. And then just a quick side by side so you can see the difference in them. There's the two head sculpts. And it's Angry Anakin and Happy Anakin. Light side, dark side. Just my personal preference. I like light side Anakin. And there you go. You can hear it. Snap right on. No problem. It still kind of freaks me out a little bit to pop the heads off a figure, especially a nice, expensive figure like this. But as you can see, they wouldn't put two heads in there if they didn't want you doing it. So there you go. And I'm trying to see if you get any kind of other interaction out of his belt. Doesn't look like. I'm trying to see if any of the pockets move or anything. So does not appear so. So all right, just for now, we'll leave that head on there. And then let's take a look at the Skywalker lightsaber. And there you can see they got it pretty screen accurate for a toy accessory. And I'm going to assume, yeah, the blade comes out. And it feels like you got a little bit of the handle has a little bit of softness to it. And then the blade is fairly stiff. So it's a difference in the material. And then again, as I was pointing out to you guys a second ago, you have this little tiny hole in his utility belt there. And then on the lightsaber handle, you should have a little peg. And so you can belt up the lightsaber. Very cool. And it is staying in there. It's in there pretty good. And you can see it kind of has to sit at an angle. I guess you could put it this way. But you can see it kind of interferes with the robe a little bit. It just seems to fit more naturally at an angle like that. But there he is. Belt. Our lightsaber on his belt. Very cool. And then the final thing we want to check out here is I'm going to put the blade back in the lightsaber. And how does he interact with this accessory? And I'm going to assume it shouldn't be a big problem, but it does feel a little bit awkward. The lightsaber handle just feels a little bit softer than it should. But it's in his hand good. You can see the flexibility in the handle. It's just kind of weird. It feels a little bit softer than it should be. But there you go. You can see he holds it. He's got a really good grip on it. He's not letting it go. Looks nice and natural. And of course you have the wrist articulation where you can pose it. But in general, I think it looks pretty good. And then let's check out the gloved hand. All right, same thing. Looks good. It's in there nice and tight. Got a good grip on it. Very cool. All right. So just because of personal preference, I want to go ahead and swap the head back out and put light side Anakin on there. It's just a happier disposition. So very good. And then what I like to give for the final test for a Black Series figure is, and normally they're all pretty good about this, will they stand on their own? And come on, guy. All right, there you go. Anakin will stand on his own. Very good. All right, guys, there he is from the Black Series 6-inch Archive Collection, Wave 2. This is Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the reviews. And if you are, please subscribe to the channel. We would love to have your support here. And thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.